This is CBC Saturday News.
Women worldwide taking to the streets today, replicating the mass protests last year, marking Donald Trump's inauguration as U.S. president. Marches or rallies took place in 250 cities, including Toronto and Ottawa. Greg Ross has that story.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, Donald Trump is back.
In Washington, D.C., it didn't take long for the Women's March to get political.
We won't go away. Welcome to your everyday.
While women's rights were at the forefront, many of them wanting to send a message to the U.S. president.
Yes, there's going to be a pink wave, a blue wave, and there's going to be feminists marching until we have full equality for all.
In New York City, many different generations of women marching together.
Great representation of younger people this year, not just old people like myself who really are outraged at some of the backward steps we've taken.
We're the younger generation and we need to learn how to know what's wrong and what's right.
In Toronto, things were a little less political, with the conversation moving away from the U.S. president and focusing more on the advancement of women's rights.
Nothing's really changing, not only in the past year, but in many years. We are still here. And I truly believe for so many years, my generation perhaps in particular, has basically dropped the ball. And we rode on the coattails of the women before us who did so much.
Women in Toronto got plenty of support from their male counterparts. There are a lot of men here, too. Does that make you feel like the message is being heard loud and clear?
Oh, 100%. Every time I see a man at a women's event, I am so happy to know that there are people out there who understand this issue and want to help us work toward a solution.
It's something that needs to be supported. People need to get out here and do what we're doing.
This march in Sandy Cove, Nova Scotia may look small, but this year's turnout was more than double last year's. 31 people, including one baby. This mom hoping it will have a lasting impression on her daughter.
I wanted to take the opportunity that these lovely women here have provided for us to recognize the work that women have been doing to make the world better, but also to recognize things that need to change.
In the end, it was dozens of locations across North America and millions of people with many different messages, but all one goal: empowering women. Greg Ross, CBC News, Toronto.